columns that are there for business and culture. You also can find MRC Latino there if that interests you. You can find us on, obviously we're all the heck over Facebook. We've got 9 million Facebook fans. So if you're active on Facebook, we've got several accounts and we're really active there. We're active on Twitter, and yes, I am going to give my Twitter handle because I don't mind it when it blows up with good people. So you can find me on Twitter at Dan Gaynor. That's DanGainor, and I keep Facebook for being friendly and kind of working with people I know, and Twitter for combat.
And that's how it should be. Dan Gaynor, thanks so much for coming on the show. This was great. And thanks for doing this last minute, by the way. Truth be told...
happy to do it. Look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, truth be told, you're my hero tonight, man. Thanks a lot for doing this. And that was Dan Gaynor from Media Research Center and Newsbusters. Touched on a whole lot of different things there. Everything from media bias and hypocrisy to the shocking... so shocking hypocrisy coming out of Hollywood when it comes to their depictions of violence, especially in context of what we see here. I was reminded during the interview of the show Mr. Robot on the USA Network, who had a scene of someone committing suicide with a gun live on TV, and how they actually delayed the episode, which was their season finale, by the way, in the wake of some other shooting events that occurred as well. But you know what, folks? Look it up. The top 10 movies out there. There's a great article by Matt Philbin on Newsbusters. Go on the culture section there, and you'll see they actually quantify how many violent scenes and how many involve guns in the top 10 movies that were out over the weekend after the UCC shooting. Wow. It'll blow your mind. Gotta take a quick break here, folks, but when we come back, we got 2 more interviews from Value Voter Summit last week, including Alex Molesky, who wants to run for Senate against John McCain. He'll talk about his campaign and why he's doing that. And Patrick Pertil from Faith and Freedom Coalition. We're going to get a little wonky on you when we come back. Gene Baradelli, Behind Enemy Lines. We'll be back right after these brief words.
Are you among the 64% of Americans who believe our country is going in the wrong direction? If yes, then eVoiceAmerica.com is the political take-action site we've all been waiting for. And it's really free. eVoice America provides your personal list of elected reps every time you log on. This makes it so easy to email your opinions and e-votes on top issues directly to each of our D.C. elected representatives. eVoice then publishes our e-vote majority percentages on top issues to each member of Congress and the media. Now, for the first time in history, we can know what millions of American citizens are telling Congress. No more gridlock. Join the new American majority using eVoiceAmerica.com, putting Americans in control of Congress. Visit eVoiceAmerica.com today. It's free and easy to use. That's eVoiceAmerica.com.
Hey everybody, Gene Baradelli here, and for those of you who know me, who have met me at a conference around the country, or have just even seen my photo online, you know I'm not the most fit guy in the world. In fact, exercise and I are not good friends at all. But I'm starting to do it more, and I'm starting to eat right, and I'm going to start taking Diabetics from Green Turtle Bay Vitamin Company. Diabetics is the first FDA-authorized multivitamin supplement for diabetics and for those like me who are predisposed to diabetes and have difficulty absorbing nutrients. Diabetics contains ingredients not included in multivitamin formulas for the general public and is unique for people like me who have diabetes running in their family. So I'm going to start eating right, I'm going to start taking Diabetics, I'm going to start exercising more, and I'm going to take you on this journey with me. That's Diabetics with a K, one of the many great supplements from Green Turtle Bay Vitamin Company. For more information, check out www.energywave.com. Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air. Gene Baradelli, back behind enemy lines. I want to thank Dan Gaynor once again for doing that great interview with us. Sort of a last-minute deal. He was gracious enough to fill in a gap for me in the show, and it was a great interview, folks. If you missed it, check us out on replay. We're on Spreaker. Just do a search for Behind Enemy Lines Radio. We're also on Stitcher, iTunes, Player FM. We're everywhere. And, of course, we're on right here on We Are America Radio, the #1 political talk station on Live365.com, and the fastest growing talk network on the internet today. I'm making that one up. I'm sticking to it. We Are America Radio is exploding. I also want to give a shout out because this is going to be the first show that is going to be on Pundit Press Radio. I want to thank you guys for welcoming the show to your network, and shout out to all the good people there. We look forward to a long and lasting relationship with Pundit Press. So here we go, folks. The next set of interviews we're going to be playing for you, we taped during the Value Voters Summit last week in Washington, D.C. Got a lot of great stuff. As you heard from last week, we had the Benham brothers, and we had Alveda King. If you missed it, check it out on replay. But now we're going to get a little more into the nitty-gritty. You know, the big names were there, and that's great. But now let's talk about the people that would normally not get the airtime that the mainstream would not give out. For instance, everyone pretty much saw that John McCain was at Value Voters Summit. A lot of you tuned in to our interview that he had that impromptu press conference, and we got some good audio out of that. But we wanted to give equal time. At Value Voters as well was Alex Molesky, a small business owner who you may not have heard of, but he is also running to succeed and defeat the new face of the establishment, John McCain. I mean, John Boehner's gone, right? He's not coming back. You got to say McCain's the new face of the establishment when it comes to who you think about in government as part of the Republican establishment. Whatever you want to call it. There are lots of bad words about John McCain that people have used in front of me. I personally thought he was a very nice man when I got to speak to him very briefly. And Alex Molesky would agree with me on that. But he also thinks that John McCain's time has come and gone. We talk about a lot of subjects here, including Donald Trump, John McCain, and what the people of Arizona need. Take a listen to this. This is Alex Molesky, running for U.S. Senate. Gene Baradelli, back behind enemy lines here at the Value Voters Summit. I have the pleasure right now of speaking with possibly the next senator from the state of Arizona, Alex Molesky. Thank you for coming on the show with us today. Standing here as we're standing in the shadow of Ben Carson, by the way. You see the crowd that had gathered over here before when he was just sitting down to say hi to some people. It was crazy.
Yeah, the good doctor's right in front of us. If I tilt my head around the corner and move away from the mic, I can see him. But Gene, thank you so much for having me.
I'd rather talk to you anyway, because to me, you have one of the most intriguing races in the nation coming up. And John McCain was here earlier. I got a chance to get a few words from him. And the tenor of his discussions were, first we talked about Boehner's resignation. What was your reaction to hearing about that?
Hip, hip, hooray.
Short, sweet, to the point. I kind of like that. He was kind of shocked. He was surprised by it. Is this really anything surprising to you?
Actually, it was surprising to me. I thought he might have put up some sort of a fight in the next election cycle, but maybe this is just his way. He might have other alternative reasons for backing away. Maybe he's going to back somebody and put somebody in. We called J.D. Winteregg right away after this came out, because I know he's running against John Boehner again.
You are now facing the face of the establishment wing of the party now that John Boehner is gone. Isn't that fair to say?
It's close to say. We're thinking here after the presidential election cycle, the primaries on both sides, that this is the biggest race in the nation.
I absolutely agree. John McCain also talked about Donald Trump for a second. I know that he's been weighing in on presidential candidates. I'm sure you have your opinion as well. He seemed to be surprised that Donald Trump's been, forgive the term, trumping the experts and the pundits by sustaining his lead over this time. Does Donald Trump's support surprise you in any way?
No, not really. I mean, I believe that the people are sick of misrepresentation or a broken moral compass, as I say, from the establishment. They do not feel represented as people, and that's what they're supposed to have, a representative government of the people, for the people, and it's not the case.
Are you feeling the same sort of bubbling anger and frustration with government as you're on the trail that Donald Trump has been kind of keying into?
It definitely does not hurt that Donald Trump is out there and he's waking people up. I have a different demeanor than Donald Trump. It's not to say that I don't agree with anything he's saying necessarily. We just have a different demeanor. But he's absolutely helping wake up America, I believe. And that's so vital in this election cycle, for the presidential cycle, and for all the other races around the country.
Now, the other thing I keep hearing from establishment types is that we have to reunite the party, reunite a fractured party, bring us back together, reunite. It doesn't feel like that they're coming to the people. I feel like they are demanding the people come to them. Where do you stand on this? Are you more of a grassroots guy, or you find yourself to be more of a, I don't want to say establishment type, but let's go there. Yeah, establishment type. Where do you see yourself in the whole line of this dichotomy here?
I'm one of the people. I've never run for political office before, and I'm only doing it now because I will not return this country to a worse place than I was received. It was given to me as I thought a beautiful country when I was born in 1967, once I could understand it. I'm not happy with the direction, but as far as the people coming to the party, no. The party needs to go back to the Constitution. They need to follow the Constitution. They need to take that oath and mean it and stand up for it every single time. They need people that will fight for them and fight for their country. That's what we need to do if we're elected. Because you know what? Our rights are given to us by God. As an elected official, as a U.S. Senator, they will be given to me by the people, and that's who I will represent.
You know, I've always been fascinated by politics in Arizona because you do have probably the most extreme on both end, battle going on within your own state. You have a really, really conservative streak in a lot of people. I think you see in law enforcement, and especially, we talked about the immigration issues that were there a couple of years back. But then you also have John McCain and his view, which seems to be more of an old world view, not really a 21st century view. Do you feel that Arizona is a split state right now when it comes to conservative versus Republican, let's say?
Well, we are a state with our largest voters block is the independents. So
that definitely answers that, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
The good thing about independent voters, though, is that they actually pay attention to issues of concern. So what's the issues that you feel that Arizona is facing right now that are most important to the voters?
In Arizona, the issues I think that really have a big issue at stake with our voters, rights of the state to make the right of how they will handle their educational values, the big issues of Common Core, which is something that I can't stand. So the Department of Education getting out of their woods and letting the states' rights decide there. Our border policies, we have no border, and John McCain promised to build a dang fence last time around, and he never did. So if you're going to promise something, don't you do your darnest to make it happen, or at least show the people that you are out there trying to get it done, even if you're running into your own walls, pun intended. And then our veterans. Our veterans is another huge group that needs our support. And McCain, as an ex-veteran, I would have thought would have done a lot more. I mean, I'm not saying that the VA system is a complete mess, but our veterans are supposed to have the best that we can offer. And that's not getting done, and that's atrocious and unacceptable to me.
Obviously, greater accountability is needed with the Veterans Administration when it comes to helping our veterans. I totally agree with that. So now, campaign's off and running. Obviously, we want people to support you. We're kind of a grassroots show. Even though we're from the People's Republic of New York City, we do have a lot of donors in our area. That's kind of where, we are the nation's ATM when it comes to politics, right? So let's talk about, give everybody your elevator speech right now. Tell them where they can donate, where they can find you online, social media, all that fun stuff.
Well, my name is Alex Molusky. I believe that on a federal level, for you out there in New York, that our national security is a major, major issue. You can go visit my website. You can find more about my issues, understand why I believe in a one-state solution, understand why I believe in our missile defense system being put up, because we have no protection on the eastern seaboard, and the western Alaska is at fault too, I believe. There's so many issues. You can go visit my website at Molusky.com, MELUSKEY.com, and you can go there, you can contribute, you can share the information with your friends. Just learn more about me. I've always believed in having skin in the game and earning your support. So if there's anything I can do to help you, you let me know.
Without a doubt, the most important race other than the President of the United States coming down the pipe to us. Alex, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and we'll get the word out.
Gene, thank you so much.
And that was Alex Molusky, candidate for the Arizona Senate seat, currently held by Senator John McCain. That's going to be a wild and woolly race, folks. Not only do you have Alex Molusky there, you have, of course, Kelly Ward, who is making a big run. And one of the things that we talked about after the interview was done with Alex was something that I'd never heard from a candidate ever. And I want to get this out there so everybody knows this. Alex Molusky told me, and he told many other people there, that he will not be an obstacle to anyone, including Kelly Ward, winning the seat from John McCain. If he is polling less than her before the time the ballots have to be drawn up for the primary, which I believe is next August, Alex said he would bow out for the good of the people of Arizona because he would want to see someone, anyone, take the seat from John McCain. I was really struck by that. Alex Molusky is a good man. I wish him all the best on the trail.